If you are towing and going to overtake on a highway or country road, you need to ask yourself, is it safe? Is it legal? Will you actually achieve anything? Safe can depend on your vision ahead and the acceleration capability of your tow vehicle and the size of your trailer. You never want to be on the wrong side of the road struggling to complete the passing manoeuvre. Legal depends on the line markings and speed limit, as you're not meant to cross a solid line on your side of the road centre and not meant to exceed the posted speed limit. Will you actually achieve anything will depend on your schedule, fuel level, planned rest breaks, and any stoppages ahead from roadworks or traffic lights. Often drivers pass you aggressively and then you queue up behind them at the next stoppage. Travel time is dictated more by luck than speed. If your planned overtake passes these criteria, sit well back so you can see past the vehicle ahead. Then you can perform what is known as a slingshot overtake. This allows you to commence accelerating in your lane and gives you the option to pull back if the situation changes. Note the truck entering the road ahead. This type of overtake often results in less time on the wrong side of the road. When driving a modern automatic vehicle, this is a time to manualise the transmission, using the plus-minus gates or paddle shift to select the desired gear. This allows you to pre-select a lower gear for optimum acceleration and responsiveness. In older automatics, the technique was to turn off overdrive, preventing access to the top overdriven gear. But overtaking with a trailer can end very badly, and a few kilometres per hour of speed given up is a lot better than destroying your trailer, your tow vehicle, or your loved ones. If being overtaken, don't brake or steer suddenly. Maintain your speed and position. Excessive braking or sudden removal of your foot from the accelerator can create trailer sway, especially if the vehicle passing you is creating a lot of air turbulence. On gravel roads, consider the dust cloud your combination is creating and slow gradually, and if possible move left to help the passing driver to see and clear you with safety. Once they pass you, remember you will have the dust from their vehicle blocking your vision. If being overtaken at night, use your high beam to light up the road. This helps the following motorists to see ahead, and then cancel your high beam just as they get beside you. Then they can engage their high beam to resume good lighting. Every time you pull over, whether it be for fuel, a bathroom break, or to admire the scenery, get in the habit of performing a trailer inspection. Walk around the trailer checking any doors are locked, stabiliser bars are secure, the load is in place and the tie-down straps are tight, the jockey wheel is secure, the hitch, electrical connections, chains, and breakaway are all securely connected. And the tyres look okay with no obvious bulges in the sidewall. Near sunset and sunrise, nocturnal animals like kangaroos will be on the move, and the light conditions make it harder to see as your headlights have not yet become effective. In country areas, powerful aftermarket headlights will help to light your way, but if they are too bright, you'll find the reflection from road signage to become very annoying.
One of the easiest ways to tell if the instrument panel lighting is too bright is if you can see it glow on the driver's face. That glow represents a reduction of night vision and their ability to perceive hazards on the road ahead of you. So even as a passenger, you should alert the driver to this fact, as it's compromising your safety as much as theirs. I'm currently travelling at 100 kilometres an hour on a narrow development road south of Emerald in central Queensland. Being a development road, the road shoulders are not well made. Also, there are large drop-offs on either side of the road. The number of animal carcasses is quite alarming. At this time of day, nocturnal animals will begin their feeding cycle, so I need to be extra vigilant. I also need to be scanning the road well ahead of the total stopping distance of this vehicle. And I need to have an emergency action plan in my head, because if an animal presents itself, I have nowhere to go. All I can do is brake and keep the vehicle straight.
Whilst it might be possible to brake hard on a dry, sealed road in a high-quality vehicle, towing a high-quality trailer on high-quality tyres set at the correct pressure, and while braking also steer around an object, but this is all at under 60 kilometres an hour. At higher speeds, and if any of these parameters are not right, or the road is narrow, you risk leaving the road and destroying everything. In most circumstances, you are better to brake and not steer, and take the impact in the front of your vehicle. It might destroy your tow vehicle, but it gives you and your passengers the best chance of survival. There are some steep roads that are signed as unsuitable for vehicles with trailers or for those towing caravans. On steep ascents, your vehicle will lose momentum, and so plan ahead to avoid holding up other traffic. In a manual, as the engine revs drop, change down gears early to maintain your speed and ensure the lower gear will still provide good forward momentum. It is bad driving to drop a gear and find the next lower gear also struggling, and then you have to drop more gears to keep going. When driving a modern automatic vehicle, this is a time to manualise the transmission, using the plus-minus gates or paddle shift to select the desired gear. This allows you to pre-select a lower gear for engine braking. The general rule of thumb is whatever gear you climb the hill in, you use the same gear on the return journey down that hill. For more moderate descents with light trailers, third gear is usually the best, and for very steep hills with trucks using low gear signs, second gear is probably best. With so many automatic vehicles these days, motorists develop a D for dream mentality and use their automatic always-in drive, and they therefore don't consider or practice to use the other gears which are available for a reason. In this example, the driver on the left is riding their brakes in D for dream. However, the driver on the right is using the manual Tiptronic mode of the automatic gearbox to engage third gear and limit the use of the brakes. The increased engine noise from moderate engine revs is helping retard the vehicle and trailer. This D for dream mentality might not lead to a crash when you're not towing, but with a heavy trailer on a steep descent in drive, the riding of the brakes constantly can overheat the brakes and potentially lead to a complete brake failure. When towing in undulating terrain with many bends, be aware of what's called the limiting point or vanishing point. This is where the road disappears from view over a crest or around a corner. Given the increased braking distances required when towing, you should always be able to see ahead further than the total stopping distance. Therefore, if you are close to the limiting point, slow down, so the distance you need to pull up in is further than you can see. This adjustment means you are not rolling the dice of life, hoping nothing will be there and unable to stop the day something is. In this dashcam clip, our instructor was driving in a mountainous area behind Sydney. Thankfully, he was not towing at the time. Unbeknownst to him, around this bend is a truck completely on the wrong side of the road. Using his vision to look through the corner and adjusting his speed for the vanishing point just ahead, he was travelling slow enough and able to react in time when he first saw the truck. The dashcam doesn't do it justice, but this was a close call. When approaching sharp corners, look for speed advisory signs, which give you an indication of the corner severity. A speed of 50 kilometres an hour or less suggests a small corner radius.
These yellow and black cornering arrows behind me are all placed in the ground 30 metres apart. So when you're approaching a corner and these arrows look well spaced, it means the corner is very sharp. It's tightening up, and the driver needs to adjust accordingly, especially if towing a large trailer.
We recommend you drive with some form of front lights on during the day. This makes your vehicle more visible to other motorists, especially in bad weather or on dusty roads. New vehicles these days have daytime running lights, which use LED technology. You should review your own vehicle because this vehicle's LED daytime running lights are much brighter during the day than the normal headlights, and therefore it would be safer to drive during the day with the headlights off and allow the daytime running lights to show your position. But this could be different in your vehicle. In this dashcam clip, we are towing a race car behind us. It is 5:35 p.m. and we have an appropriate 4-second following distance off the truck ahead. We are travelling under 90 kilometres an hour in a 100 zone as there is no point tailgating the truck when we have no ability or intention to overtake. The vehicle turning off to the left hides us from the view of the Land Cruiser waiting to enter this road. Our headlights on probably saved our life, since had he pulled out, it would have been a massive crash.
Distractions are becoming more common out on the road. Not only are we distracted by our radio, but our mobile phones and GPS units can also be very distracting. The GPS unit is a fantastic device, but you must make sure that you pre-program the address before you start your journey.
Be on the lookout for the countless drivers you will encounter who are talking on their mobile or writing messages while driving, all of which takes their attention away from the task of driving. The warning signs will be their vehicle wandering in its lane and their speed fluctuating. You could very quickly become part of their crash. When using GPS units or dash cams, be aware that they must be positioned in a location that does not impede your view of the road. So low on the windscreen or behind the centre mirror are safe and legal locations. Towing ultimately requires more concentration, given your need to feel how the trailer is responding and plan and adjust to situations further ahead. Therefore, distractions and towing do not mix.